Hey everybody, it's Beth. Today I'm using this 12-inch round hanger I got from Dollar Tree. I started by painting halfway down the front with Plaster chalk paint by Waverly. I also painted around the side as well as the entire back. Once that was completely dry, I measured down about 4 inches from the holes for the hanger and then lined up my scrapbook paper that I got from Temu and trimmed that up. I then added Mod Podge to the part that's unfinished below those lines that I had made. Once I had that on there, I placed down the scrapbook paper and smoothed that out with my hands. I used my heating tool to dry that layer of Mod Podge completely. Once it was dry and fully adhered, I took my micro sander and sanded off the excess paper. And then set that aside, and I'm taking this welcome word that I got from Hobby Lobby and I'm painting it with Barnwood acrylic paint, and that is by Folkart. I then am adding a layer of Mod Podge to the top of the paper, as well as above that on that white painted area. And what I'm doing is I'm leaving the Mod Podge still wet and then placing down the welcome word. The Mod Podge will work to attach the word. I then used my heating tool to dry all of that completely. While it was still warm, I used some parchment paper to smooth out a couple bubbles that were in the paper. Next, I'm taking 5 different design ribbons. Most of these are 1.5 inches, some wired, some not. The piece that was 2.5 inches, I just cut in half. And then take those pieces, pinch them in the center, and crisscross them in my hands, like in an X, just alternating the different patterns. Once I have that completely filled in, I used 4 of each style of the ribbons. I wrapped some twine around the center and pulled it nice and tight in the back and knotted it a few times, cutting off the excess, and then trimmed up some of the ribbons that were a little too long. I then add the hanger back in, and I knot it a few times so it doesn't pull through the hole. I do the same thing on the other side. I then trim up the excess twine, and to make sure that those knots don't come apart, I just add some Mod Podge to them. And then the last thing I do is hot glue my bow to the top left of the hanger. And that is it for this project. Thank you so much for watching.